Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video from your most trusted YouTuber, Fizzle Talks, otherwise known as Fizzle Sticks. Now, we've got an interesting video covered today. I haven't checked out this guy's other videos, but there's one specific point I want to bring up in this video. I'm going to show some of the rest of it for context. I agree with a lot of the points this guy makes. Basically, he's talking about zoosexuals.
Zoosexual, an individual who prefers mutually desired sex with animals, also called a zoophile, not to be confused with bestiality, wherein the individual uses animals for sex with no regard to the animal's desire.
I actually didn't know there was this distinction between zoophilia and bestiality.
That was obviously written by one of these dog fuckers, so let me read you the second and more accurate definition. 2. Zoosexual. It's still bestiality, regardless of whether or not it's mutual. But then again, what the hell is mutual about this shit anyways, when an animal only prefers to mate with its own species?
And I guess neither of us really agree, because an animal can't really consent to sex with a human. You know, that's the bottom line. It's common sense, as he brings up. Common sense to the point where you shouldn't even have to go into huge detail to explain how. But for the purposes of videos like this, that's kind of our job to do that.
If you happen to agree, like and share this video now because you are the people I want watching my content.
Now, he says that he wants like-minded people to watch his video. That's understandable. I can relate with that. I'm sure many others can too. But you also do want people who disagree with you watching your videos too. Or at least I do. And I think most people should. Because the whole point is not just to have like a hug bubble of the same thinking people as you. It's also to convince people who disagree with you. Now, I used to be very left-wing back when I was in school, back when I was younger. You know, life issues and stuff kind of pushed me towards that side because, honestly, I was a bit of a hermit. Most people I dealt with were just my family, and they were, like, it gave me a bad representation of certain thoughts and ideas and stuff like that. I kind of clung to leftist ideals and stuff like that due to my own negative experiences, but now I've kind of grown up, matured, and I've watched a bunch of videos that have proven to me, essentially, that the way I was before, that's not how the world works. Now I produce similar content that's trying to go for that.
The fact that the LGTB doesn't want to support other sexual minorities that are in the same position as them shows that they are hypocritical. They only care about themselves and not about others who have the same or similar problems. I say this as a zoosexual who has seen plenty of homosexuals who are literally bigots against zoosexuals, and I have seen similar behaviors with homosexuals who are bigoted against heterosexuals, and so on and on.
Of course, the LGBT community, or any other community or sane person for that matter, is not going to support sexually abusing an animal. Just like they will not support groups like Heart Progress that want to make it legal or acceptable to harm children. Also, I don't think you understand that being bigoted against such people is not something we take offense to being called.
Now, this guy brings up a lot of good points. I agree with a lot of the stuff he says, except he keeps talking. Like, if he left it at this point, perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. You know, it's just not right to fuck a dog. Like, dogs fucking dogs, perfectly fine. You know, it's the fact that it's a different species that's the problem. You know, you can't really, you might think in your deranged little brain that, like, you can communicate with animals, but really isn't like that. And David brought this up one time, that people are trying to push pedophilia and bestiality in with the LGBT movements and stuff like that. I didn't experience this until now. Now there's like actual evidence of this. And I'm sure it won't go past this point, because that's too far. Like, you can't argue that it's acceptable to have sex with someone who's not sexually mature. You can argue the specific age which it's acceptable, and I'm sure people do reach sexual maturity at different ages too. That's another issue as well. And it's also another thing of people are still developing. Like way back in the day, age wasn't a big thing. Like people were getting married at like 12 and stuff like that. So hey, some places people are still getting married at 12. But yeah, that's a different issue. Not gonna go too much into detail with that. Funny thing, actually, I had a friend, well, I say friend, more of an acquaintance, on Flash Revolution. He sent me a link, I clicked on it, it was a video, you can probably guess what it was. That was my introduction into this topic. And this guy has 22,000 subs on YouTube. All he posts is lyric videos. He steals other people's songs and posts lyric videos. And he got 22,000 subs. His most popular video is Promiscuous by Nelly Furtado with 17 million views. And yet my channel nearly gets taken down for the dumbest reasons just because I'm playing porn games. Okay, maybe a bad example, but...
Now, I have no need to defend common sense, but I'm not going to hide behind burden of proof because I really don't need to. Stanley Korn, PhD. What are the limits of canine learning? Dogs have mental ability equivalent to human 2 or 3 years old. That's right, a dog has the mental capacity of a 3-year-old at best. So, as far as I see it, a dog cannot consent to a human for the same reason a child can't to an adult. They just do not have the mental ability to fully understand consent, so they do not have the mental ability to give informed consent. So of course your argument will be now, then do dogs rape each other since they can't give consent? No, for fuck's sake. The concepts of moral and or criminal propriety do not apply to non-human sex.
You see, this is the part I have a problem with. Now, I might be looking too much into this, but that word choice is so silly. That word choice is so silly.
The concepts of moral and or criminal propriety.
The way he worded it, it sounds like he's saying, okay, dogs don't rape other dogs when they have sex because morals don't apply to them.
Just like they cannot give consent to sex, they cannot commit murder or rape. They just do not have the ability to understand these concepts. But we are supposed to. Though it seems sometimes some of us lack this ability.
In other words, it is immoral for animals to have sex because they don't have the mental capacity that we do. Even though they do age much quicker, they reach sexual maturity at a much lower age. It's nature. You can't really say nature is immoral. That's the argument. You shouldn't go further. It just comes off as silly. Now, the rest of this guy's video, perfectly fine. Fine video. But that one line just... it makes me cringe, actually, kind of.
For fuck's sake.
It's not a matter of morality. They're the same species. That's what makes it okay. You know, then again, dolphins do screw fish and stuff like that. You could argue that's rape. Yeah, dolphins are a little messed up. But anyways, Fenrir, maybe that's why he's so sensitive about this. He's got a dog avatar.
Dog fuckers.
But anyways, yeah, this guy seems quite similar to me. Like, on his page, he says he's like anti-SJW, he's a shitlord, anti-feminist. You know, hey, I agree with all that stuff. And, seems like a fine guy. I'll probably end up watching more of his videos. But, yeah, I think you should keep an open mind to people who disagree with you. And maybe be a little more careful with your word choice. I really think that was just a slip up. But anyways, that's it for today's video, guys. Have a great day, and stay salty, bros. And broettes, I want to be all inclusive here.
Dog fuckers.